I went back to court as a witness in a federal hearing. Does that make me a snitch? So we had won something, me and my brother, we had won a motion to go back to court. So in Atlanta, in Atlanta Penitentiary, anytime somebody go to court and they don't have the paperwork, they become suspect. So one of the jailhouse lawyers, he had did me and my brother legal work in court, and we went back to court in Brunswick County Jail. So when I got in the cell, I know it was this guy in there. He was, he was big. I guess he was from Carolina. I didn't know where he was. I didn't know if he wanted to be a house man, but we had several conversations in the cell about how he was traveling back and forth to Carolina with bricks and getting money in Carolina. And he had, all these war stories he was talking about and how much money he was getting and how he had parts of Carolina on lock. So I'm listening to him. I'm like, man, dude must be getting money out there, because, I heard them Carolina dudes, be getting money, And so one day we was taken from the jailhouse and we was taken to court to our hearing, and when we was on our way, it was a couple of ladies in the van. So it was probably about 2 ladies in the van and about 4 males was in the van on the way. And so one of the ladies in the car, she was like, do you know a guy over there named, I forgot his name, but name is not important. And I'm like, yeah, I know him over there, man. He was talking about, how he had Carolina locked down and how much money he was getting. He coming down to Miami getting bricks and all that, He talking, like he got money in there, and, so he be talking every day. I say, who that is, your boyfriend? She said, no, that nigga told on me. I say, what? I say, he told on you? I say, all that stuff he be talking in there about what he got and what he was doing. And so we had to really talk kind of low because, the marshals was driving the van. So I was telling her all that stuff he was talking, and I was in shock. And she was like, yeah, I was pregnant, and I took him down there to ride with me, and I had to work on me, and they pulled us over, and I vouched for the stuff that was on the dress, and they locked both of us up, and I bonded him out one time, and he this and that and this and that. I'm like, wow, man, this dude talking in the cell like he a gorilla or something. And he told on you? She like, yeah. I'm like, wow. So we had that short conversation. So we went on to our little hearing and we came back. So I'm looking at this dude differently, man. I'm thinking about, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not thinking about smashing it. But then I told him, I said, hey man, I seen that girl, man, that went to court today, man. She told me some things about you. He like, no, she told you. I said, yeah, man. He said, man, that was fucked up, huh? I said, bro, get out my face, man. Man, get out my face, man. And so all of that talk he was talking, he was big too. It just went out the window, right? So we probably was gone, probably like 3 weeks. And so when my brother and I got back to Atlanta Penitentiary, the next day I got a visit from a lawyer. And it was her lawyer. And he was saying that, she was saying that you had told her this about the guy, that the guy was saying this and he was saying that. And he was saying how he was going to Miami and getting drugs and trafficking and all that. I say, so I say, yeah, I heard he said that, you know what I mean? So he say, would you be a witness? Would you come back in our hearing to be a witness? I like, be a witness? I like, nah, man. He say, look, this is not telling, like you're not getting anything for this. It's just simply to be a witness, to testify to what you heard. So I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Leave me your number, man. I'll call you, you know. So I got back on the compound, so I'm thinking about it, you know. So I'm saying, like, I got to ask a couple of old heads, man, you know, about this right here, man, because I can't just jump out there like that. And I talked to a couple of old heads, and I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, "How you feel about it?" I said, "Man, that's messed up." You know what I mean? And that's crazy. She said, "Well, see how you feel about it, however you feel about it." So the next day, the van came back and got me from Atlanta, and took me back to Brunswick, Georgia. You know what I mean? So hey, I had prayed on it, but I hadn't gave nobody no decision what I was gonna do, because when is for me to be called a snitch. You know what I mean? That that's something that'll weigh on me. You know what I mean? But man, I was thinking about that, man, and all that stuff he was talking and all that crap he was talking, and then come to end up, man, he flipped on the pregnant lady. You know what I mean? So hey, I went in, so I went to that hearing, and I said what I heard him say. You know what I mean? So I'll leave it up to you all to decide. First, my first question is, what do you think that even though I had nothing to gain from it, I was getting no time cut, I was getting nothing from it, do you think that's snitching? And the second question that I will ask you, what would you have done in a situation like that?